Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for watching and tuning in. We will be shifting the direction of my channel towards more of like self-development and life in general that encompasses everything and not specifically Asian things. I feel like I've covered enough of it and I feel like I reached a fine point that I need to shift and pivot. So thank you again. And if there are topics I want to make, I of course will cover them, but I'm trying to shift and transition this channel to something different. Today, we'll be talking about how to develop social skills as a young adult. And this is specifically from a male's POV. And obviously, if you are able to find this valuable as a female, I hope you do, but I'll be catering this towards males. So thank you. So honestly, how do you develop social skills in 2022 and the world at large? I would say everyone is so tuned in on social media now and the whole internet, with the internet generation, that people don't know how to make eye contact and speak and make a discussion and just be a human being. I feel like when you're in public, everyone's just always on their phone. Just avoid the awkwardness of standing next to someone and approaching someone and confronting them and asking them how their day is, or just simple things like this. The human element we're missing. I feel like no one has the social skills or confidence or self-awareness to even like portray themselves and communicate with another person, which we are finding in the workplace. If you're unable to communicate with others and strangers and build and collaborate and have a healthy team, how are you efficient? How can you have a job? A job is working with strangers at first and your clients, or you building a team and building healthy relationships. I feel like that's the biggest struggle right now, is no one knows how to communicate their needs, their struggles, or their problems, or their solutions or answers. And this is kind of this like issue with our generation, is no one really knows how to speak or have any like social awareness. And I don't want to say it's purely the internet's fault on this, but I feel like having a phone around as a scapegoat instead of dealing with the awkwardness and boredom that life brings and the slowness is kind of an issue. Like think about it, back in the day when you used to take a train or you go to the cashier or bank, you used to chat people up and be like, hey, how's your day going? And you kind of knew everyone's story. But now it's just so transactional that no one like recognizes anyone, even though you go to the same bank teller every single week, or you go to the same cashier at Trader Joe's, but no one really interacts with them. No one even knows their neighbor anymore. We live in this place where like you are part of a community, but do you even know your next door neighbor? Do you even say hi? No, you look down at the floor and you scurry past them, but no one says, hi, how are you doing? I'm your neighbor, by the way. If you ever need anything, please let me know. It's like just simple things like that. And I think the number one thing is, hey guys, get off your social media platform. If you're in public, you can listen to music, if you pass on time, but hey, take those off and just look around, situational awareness, and just smile and look at people. I'm gonna say this as a point of view as a guy. I know if you're a girl and you start looking at people, you might be attracting the wrong attention, so just please be careful of that. If you're a guy, just look around, say hi, smile at people. Don't be creepy, don't be weird, but just something like that. But if you see someone else that, reading a book or something or a newspaper, like, hey, what are you reading? And obviously have social awareness. If they don't want to talk to you, just fuck off, okay? Not everyone wants to talk to you, be your friend. But most of the time, I feel like in this generation, post-COVID, we're all craving for that human connection. We're all craving for that social element of life that we are so missing. We all text our friends and FaceTime people, but you're just words on a screen. It's a person on a screen. But if you see the person in real life, there's this element, there's this color, there's this like ambiance that's radiating from them that's so uniquely human and is so beautiful. I've always noticed that, like, you'll FaceTime your friends or family and then you see them in person and it's like, wow, this is so much better. And like a video, I don't know, it's like a different persona. It's like this different color of them that you just kind of fail to recognize for them at whole. It's just like that scent. It's like the nervousness, it's the angst, it's exciting, the human element. We're human social creatures. And it's just like the idea of just like shaking someone's hand, going in for a hug, just the endorphins and oxytocin that gets released is so healthy for you. So I'd say the number one thing is, guys, limit your social media usage, get off of it and start interacting with people. Start talking to people within your network, whether that's at school, your church, or at work. Just start socializing. Obviously, we'll do it within like healthy awareness. But the thing is, you need to start talking to people. Get used to hearing your own voice. Get used to hearing your own like dialect, your own accent. Just get used to speaking. I think that's the number one thing, is get used to your voice and get used to just listening to others. Let other people do the talking for you. Ask interesting and curious questions. But don't ask questions. Be genuine about your interaction. Just hear them. People love speaking about themselves, and you learn so much more, and you'll find a friend that way. I feel like people don't really listen anymore and people don't really talk. So everyone just kind of sticks to themselves, which is super sad. Everyone's just isolated. We all crave the human connection. Number two, you need to develop social awareness. Okay, if you are socially inept, you don't really know how to talk to people, and you're kind of awkward. If you're unable to read social cues, we're human beings, right? We ostracize other people based on their social awareness. Have you ever been in public and you look at someone and you see the way they're acting, like, wow, that person lacks social awareness. Like everyone in that room is like, wow, that guy's an idiot. but he has no clue he's being an idiot because he lacks a social awareness. I'll say the number one thing is just observe people's behavior. Like look in public and see who are the people who are quote unquote popular, who are the people that that is naturally drawing people and is attracting people towards them. See the way they command presence and observe that. See what they're doing. Look at the social nuance. There's always that person within like a club or a coffee bar, or just a bar in class that just naturally draws people's attention. Just observe what they're doing, their gestures, their body language, the way they're speaking, their tonality, and try to mimic that or just kind of make it your own, right? Just understand the social dynamics. But I think it's this human psychology. You have to start interacting with people from all courses of life, and you're gonna meet a lot of really shitty people. I'm going to be honest, like develop social skills. You're gonna meet a lot of shitty people that you should avoid. And if you're gonna meet and develop your social skills, please have some self-boundaries. I want to say this realistic truth is everyone you meet does not necessarily have your best interests at heart. Most of the people you meet are kind of shitty people, kind of negative and toxic people who will try to take things from you if you are not aware. If you think of narcissists and sociopaths, they understand social cues. They know what to say to manipulate and take things from you. But if you understand what the underlying social dynamics are, you'll be able to protect yourself. So just observe people and please be cautious when meeting strangers. I know in this world, you want to believe that everyone has your best interest at heart, but that's not the case. Please protect yourself, especially if you're a girl and you're out here alone trying to meet people. I would say like most guys don't have your best interest at heart. So please be careful on that. I'll leave it there. But when you're able to distinguish true, genuine connections, you'll see what I mean. But you just have to kind of stay guarded a little bit. Please protect yourself at all times. And if you're talking to some stranger and they're weird as fuck, creeping you out, you can be like, hey, please, I can no longer talk to you. Or just remove yourself from the situation. You gotta realize like, look, you can talk to anyone in the world and you don't have to talk to anyone else in the world. So, be selective in choosing and doing so. Don't talk to people for the sake of talking. And if people are violating your boundaries, just tell them to fuck off or you can fuck off yourself. Simple, easy, done. So observing people's behaviors and implementing and taking action and talking to people. I think the easiest thing we can do is just start speaking more within our immediate friend group or work or social circle. At work, just talk a little more, right? Obviously know and understand like when it's allowed to speak more and not to. When those meetings where people talk about like stupid things like, dude, this is a meeting, shut up, go have a one-on-one. So having social skills. I think the number one thing is when you recognize someone without social skills or social adequacy, they kind of get belittled. You're like, I don't think I necessarily want to be around that person because it reflects poorly on you. I hate to say human beings are kind of shallow. We kind of like find our in-groups and we kind of separate ourselves from everyone else. So find a core group of people that you love. And obviously, like you don't need to have a ton of friends, but have your core selective friends, but learn to branch out. I don't think everyone you meet should be your friend. You can meet some acquaintances, right? Just some social networking, and that's totally okay. If you know how to interact with people from all types of life, it's going to really benefit you and aid you in your career development as an individual, as a person, as a father, as whatever, right? I think having social skills, you're able to pick up very subtle cues that's going to benefit you. If you look at the greatest salesmen in the world, they're able to see and observe what to say and what to do to make things click. And you can always have a great conversation with pretty much anyone if you know what to say. I'm not saying to be disingenuous, but if you're genuinely interested and you have people's best interests at heart, things will work out greatly for you. So developing social skills is going to take a lot of time, guys, especially if you have grown up on just living on the computer and you're kind of an introvert and now you're like in your early 20s, mid or late 20s, trying to integrate back in the world. It's going to be awkward. Give yourself some time. Talking to people is going to feel so fucking weird and you're going to look like a fool. You're going to make a ton of mistakes, but you got to realize like long term, you'll get towards that goal. Because what's the other option? Do you sit at home lonely as fuck, or do you go out and take action and slowly develop your social skills and your persona that'll fit your lifestyle that you truly want? So start taking action now, but give yourself some time and be patient and learn to forgive yourself. Trust me, I still like interact with people. I'm like, fuck, that was kind of weird that I said that. But you gotta realize like no one really like cares about your mistakes. Every human being is so selfish and has their own insecurity that they're not really focusing on you. They might be like, okay, that was a weird thing to say, but they'll just move on and forget what you said because everyone's just kind of like focusing on themselves. And you gotta realize like everyone is a little self-conscious too. So it's not just you. If you're nervous, the other person's probably like, oh shit, what is this other person thinking about me? It's like we all care about what other people think. We're human beings. But just give yourself some time and start implementing these practices. And you gotta start speaking, right? You gotta speak when you don't really want to speak. It's gonna feel so painful. If you're not used to interact with people, you're gonna have to hype yourself up. But it's like jumping off like cliff diving, right? It's like when you're jumping in the pool, you're so nervous, but the more you think about it, you get stuck. Just jump and take that course of action, right? Go jump in the pool or something like that. But just be like, just saying hi to someone's gonna be so hard for you if you're not used to it. But just be like, 1, 2, 3, go. 1, 2, 3, hi. Don't think about like, I'm gonna say hi to them at this time when they say this, when they come back around. It's just mental anguish. You guys are just tormenting yourself. Just go and say hi and just deal with the mistakes later. And honestly, if you're trying to pre-plan it, it's going to feel like robotic and forced versus just being natural and be like, hey, how's it going? Just sounding nervous. It's totally okay to sound nervous when you start interacting with people. And that confidence just slowly starts to grow. So it's just a workout. In and out, in and out, in and out. And if you know how to have social skills, you can go and find great friendships and relationships. But the number one thing is you have to go and develop yourself first. If there are friends that you want, go acquire that skill set or that criteria for yourself. Attraction likes attraction, right? Become high value in whatever necessary means you see fit, but just do your best. We all have activities, right? And just eventually you got to realize like you have to go out and just start talking to people. I mean, you can start talking online a little more and get used to that. But, you know, something about the online aspect is different from the human interactions being looked at like, this is who I am. This is who I am. And I'm choosing to speak to you. So I hope this video genuinely helps you guys. But at the end of the day, I really want you guys, or even myself, to just greatly improve and develop our social skills further. You can always learn. You know, we're all human beings. We all crave social intimacy. So let's go out and get that. If you have any questions, please comment below or email me at bedroomtalksconsult@gmail.com. If you want to do a one-on-one, please book it. A lot of people are booking it. It's great to have one-on-ones with you guys. If you want to talk about Asian things, just like social skills, just stuff like that, anything you really want. I'm not saying I'm an expert on a lot of things, but I do have a vast knowledge on many subjects. So thank you so much. Please follow me on Instagram at m.deep20. And as always, wish you the best. Namaste.